Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, make sure to like this video and subscribe to support the channel, and let's dive into today's journey. The copper cup clinked softly against the concrete. As I dropped in a few coins, the beggar didn't look up. Instead, his hands moved rapidly over a pad of paper, pencil scratching equations I couldn't comprehend. "Thank you," he said, without breaking his concentration. I should have continued walking, but curiosity got the better of me. "What are you working on?" I asked. He glanced up, revealing intelligent eyes that didn't match his ragged appearance. "Probability distributions. Specifically, how to optimize daily income based on foot traffic patterns, weather conditions, and time variables." I blinked, surprised. "You're calculating the best times to beg?" "Precisely." He set his pencil down. "I'm Robert, former mathematics professor at the university." "Former?" I sat beside him, forgetting my lunch meeting. "Life happens," he said with a wry smile. "Economic downturn, department cuts, divorce, medical bills, depression, a perfect storm." I nodded, noticing the precision in his handwriting. "Despite his circumstances, most people see a beggar," he continued. "I see an optimization problem. The variables are fascinating." "And what have you discovered?" "That contrary to popular belief, the early morning rush isn't optimal. Too many people rushing to work, minds focused elsewhere. The sweet spot is 2:15 to 4:30 p.m. People returning from lunch are more generous, especially on Wednesdays." I laughed. "That's unexpectedly scientific." "Why wouldn't it be?" He tapped his temple. "This is still functional, even if my circumstances aren't ideal." Robert explained how he divided the city into quadrants, testing different locations and approaches. He showed me charts tracking his income against weather patterns, discovering that light rain increased donations, while heavy rain decreased foot traffic too severely to compensate. "Most interesting," he said, "is the psychological factor. Eye contact increases donations by 37%, but only if broken after 2.3 seconds. Longer creates discomfort. Shorter fails to establish connection. You've turned begging into a science," I said, impressed. "I've applied my skills to my current reality," he corrected, "which is what I failed to do before." When I asked what he meant, Robert's expression turned reflective. "When I lost my position, I kept thinking like a professor, applying exclusively to academic jobs, maintaining expensive subscriptions to mathematical journals, wearing suits to interviews I couldn't afford to dry clean. I clung to an identity that no longer served me." He gestured to his modest setup. "When I became homeless, I initially thought like a victim. Woe is me. How unfair. How could this happen to someone with my education? Then one day, I realized I was still a mathematician, just one facing different problems. So I started thinking like a mathematician again. I analyzed patterns, collected data, formed hypotheses, tested variables." He showed me his meticulous records graphs, showing his daily income over months, annotated with strategic adjustments. "My income has increased 214% since implementing my findings. I don't just sit here hoping anymore. I operate according to proven models." "That's remarkable," I said. "But don't you want to? More?" "Of course," he nodded. "This is just phase 1. I've saved enough to secure shared housing next month. Phase 2 involves leveraging my data analysis skills for online gig work." He pulled out a small tablet from his bag. "Library Wi-Fi. I've been teaching myself Python and data visualization. I've already completed 3 small freelance projects." I stared at this man, who had every reason to surrender to despair, but instead applied his analytical mind to climb back from rock bottom. "The greatest obstacle wasn't homelessness," Robert said quietly. "It was continuing to think like someone whose life hadn't collapsed. The moment I accepted my new reality and applied my skills differently, everything began to change." We talked until the afternoon shadows lengthened. I was thoroughly late for my meeting, but I'd gained something far more valuable: perspective. As I prepared to leave, I handed him my business card. "My company needs data analysts. When you're ready for phase 3, call me." Robert accepted the card with dignity. "I appreciate the opportunity, but I'll only call when I have a portfolio that warrants consideration. No charity." "Fair enough," I agreed, respecting his pride. 6 months later, my phone rang. Robert had completed his transition from the street to shared housing, and finally to a small studio apartment. He built an impressive portfolio of data analysis projects, and was ready for our interview. Today, Robert leads our data analytics team. He still keeps his copper cup on his desk, not as a reminder of hardship, but as a testament to the power of applied thinking. The cup didn't change, he tells new hires. My approach to it did. I sometimes wonder who benefited more from our sidewalk conversation. Robert gained a career opportunity, but I gained a philosophy. Circumstances rarely determine our fate as much as how we think about them. Change your thinking. Change your life. It sounds simple, almost trite, but I've seen it transform a man from calculating optimal begging times to optimizing million-dollar business strategies, all because he refused to abandon his mathematical mind when life's equation changed. If this story moved you, don't forget to like and subscribe for more powerful journeys of resilience, transformation, and the untapped brilliance